What is up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video, and I'm gonna be doing something a bit different today. We're back on the NBA talk. I know my previous videos have been just kind of like in real life stuff, and I want to get back into more in real life stuff. But today we're just gonna be doing one long uncut video basically, and I'm gonna be ranking my top 10 NBA players based on position. So we're gonna go point guard first, then shooting guard, small forward, power forward, then center. This is going off ESPN's list, by the way. So there might be guys in this list that are like, I thought he was a power forward, but he's at the small forward position, or vice versa, or whatever it may be. I'm also not including injuries, so like Kawhi Leonard's not gonna be on this list, Jamal Murray's not gonna be on this list, just because I feel like it's not fair. Like, it's like Klay Thompson, yes, he's a top 5 shooting guard in the league probably, but we haven't seen him play basketball in 2 years. So how am I supposed to put him on the list over guys that have been in the league for the past couple years and then been hooping? But yeah, so let's get it started right now. I have it listed on my phone. I did this during school today when I was bored during one of my study hall periods. But yeah, let's hop right into it. And at number 10 for the point guard spot, I have is De'Aaron Fox. I think Fox is going to take a big leap once again this season. I think Ben Simmons could be coming to Sacramento. I think Ben Simmons is going to be that guy that comes to Sacramento and helps them make the playoffs for the first time in a super long time, 15, 16 years. I just see that happening, but I don't see De'Aaron Fox really being impacted much scoring-wise or impact-wise in a negative aspect, especially if Ben Simmons were to be traded there. And I don't think I don't think a Ben Simmons trade package to Sacramento would be involving De'Aaron Fox or Tyrese Halliburton. It's probably Buddy Hield, whatever. But we don't need to talk about Ben Simmons here. I'm also going kind of for like a podcast sort of thing where I'm just going to be talking and just expressing my feelings and whatever. But yeah, De'Aaron Fox at the 10 spot, I think he could do a lot with the ball. He's one of the fastest players in the league. He's incredible at the rim. His shot still isn't amazing, but even if you could get 2 or 3 three-point shot attempts from De'Aaron Fox a night, I think that's all the Kings could really ask for. I expect De'Aaron Fox to be like a 22, 23 and like 7 or 8 assist type of guy. Really just lead the way and be that star point guard that Sacramento needs. And I could see Fox being an all-star this upcoming season. I don't want to really set my expectations too high for him because I don't know. I really do like De'Aaron Fox. I know Kenny has the De'Aaron Fox sort of hairstyle right now. But yeah, I think Fox is definitely a good guy to have on this list. By the way, there are going to be some players that I'm not including. Like, I know Mike Conley just missed out on the cut barely. Like Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, those guys didn't make the cut over some guys, which you could argue. Again, this is just my subjective opinion going into the next season. Yeah, let me know if you don't like any of these decisions, by the way. Next up at 9, I have Ben Simmons. Now, Simmons is listed as a point guard, even though I think he's more of a small forward, power forward, or should be playing center. I really do think that Ben Simmons could be a great center in this league. He's 6'10", he has a great build, and he works around the basket. I think he could pass like Jokic at the center position. He could defend like Bam Adebayo, and he could score like any other big man in the league. But Ben Simmons, we've seen what he could do outside and inside on the defensive end. And it really just boils down to him being able to make shots. And that's a problem. It is. We saw that he was an issue while in Philadelphia. Now he's not reporting to training camp. And he's going to be traded within the next few weeks or so before the season starts back up. And if shooting wasn't a problem for Ben Simmons, they probably would have won a championship by now. I'm just being frank with you. But yeah, I can't get over the fact that Ben Simmons is falling out of people's top 10 point guards just because of one poor offseason, or one poor postseason, that is. I'm not saying that really is an excuse for Ben Simmons at all, because it's not like he played good whatsoever. I mean, there was a play here and there that were like somewhat impressive. But Ben Simmons' defense, Ben Simmons' passing ability, Ben Simmons' finishing, his driving, all that is just way too good for him not to be in the top 10 on this list. Yeah, I think Ben Simmons, future home in Sacramento, hopefully. That's my guess. I think Sacramento is definitely the spot where he's going to be going. But yeah, Ben Simmons at 9. Moving on to number 8, I have Jrue Holiday of the Milwaukee Bucks, NBA champion. I do have him ranked higher than Ben Simmons and De'Aaron Fox on this list specifically, just because I think he is a better defender than De'Aaron Fox. Ben Simmons, I do think, is a better defender, on ball at least. But Jrue Holiday could do a lot. We've shown that he could be a leader. He could be a starting point guard on a championship caliber team now. And I love the way that he just scores the ball. He has like a weird ability to where he could just kind of craftily just get to a spot and knock it down. Now, I'm not saying that a guy like Jrue Holiday is going to be a 25 point per game scorer for the rest of his career probably. But I just like Jrue Holiday a lot. I just wanted to make sure I was recording over there. Yeah, Jrue Holiday. I don't really have much to say besides just a very good quality NBA basketball player. He's strong. He's really, really, really good on defense. And I think that defensibility that he has really pushes him to the top 10 point guards in this league. I think no doubt about it that he's the best. I'd probably say that he's the best perimeter defender in the league. He's up there with guys like Kawhi Leonard, though. But it's close. Coming in at number 7, though, I have Russell Westbrook of the Los Angeles Lakers. Russell Westbrook, he's a guy that I see drop out of a lot of people's top 10, which I don't understand just because he's not super efficient in scoring. And I guess you could say the same thing about Ben Simmons, but at least Russell Westbrook actually takes it. Westbrook is the better playmaker. Westbrook is the better rebounder. Westbrook's the better leader, I would say. And a guy that's putting up like 25, 15, and 15 on any given night and is not in your top 10 for point guards is just absurd. I'm not Ben Simmons. I'm still in the Ben Simmons dog. But what's his name? Russell Westbrook, my favorite player of all time. I really do hope he proves everybody wrong. And he continues to just show everybody that he really doesn't give a shit. He's just that guy. He just wants to go out there, play basketball, and win. Like, Westbrook is one of the best competitors in the league. And I'm really praying that he could get a ring this upcoming season in the Lakers organization. I did get my Russell Westbrook jersey for the Lakers. Let me grab that, actually. It's pretty cool. I got a little bit of a unique style. I got to stand up here to grab it. But it's this one right here. I don't know if you can see it. It's a Kuzma jersey, actually, now I'm playing. It says Westbrook. It's pretty nice. I really like it. But yeah, Russell Westbrook, definitely a top 3 passer in the league. And I think his just all-around ability at the point guard position really leaps him high up into this list and high on the point guards list. Russell Westbrook, he's going to be a stud next season, I think. I think he is going to have a make-or-break season for the Lakers. I think if Westbrook doesn't perform well, the Lakers are going to struggle because they don't have... they do have LeBron James. So, yeah, the Lakers are just going to be so good, especially with Russell Westbrook on that team. Coming in at number 6. Now, this is when it starts to get really debatable, and I really did want to put this guy higher on the list, but I just couldn't find anyone else to drop, and that is Trae Young. Now, Young is one of the best scorers in the league, best young scorers in the league. He gives us glimpses of Steph Curry back when he was kind of making the come up in the league. Obviously, Trae Young is no Steph Curry, but he really did an amazing job leading his team to nearly a final spot. He took it to 6 games in the conference finals, and that Hawks team was fun. He has that tenacious ability just to get in people's head. He has a really nice crossover. He has a quick shot. He could basically score from anywhere on the court. Now, I think the reason I didn't have him in the top 5 is just because he is an awful defender. Trae Young is one of the worst defenders in the league, and I really pride defense a lot. So I think having a guy like Trae Young in the top 5, yes, I think as an overall player you could put him there, but comparing him to guys like Chris Paul, who I have at number 5, it's tough because Chris Paul is the much better defender than a guy like Trae Young. Even though I like Trae Young, And you could say probably overall Trae Young might be better. Like, you could give Trae Young's offense, say, a 9 out of 10 compared to Chris Paul, who may be like a 7. But that defense ability that Chris Paul has compared to a guy like Trae Young is just, you can't beat it. So I hate having to put Trae at 6, but I think he's only 22 years old, 21, 22, 23. He'll definitely be in that top 3 eventually, I'd say, sometime throughout his career. He's just still a bit young, and see what I did there. That was awful. But let's move on to Chris Paul, who's running at the top 5. I think he's gonna be a bit, I don't know if worse is necessarily the right term to use here, because obviously Chris Paul getting worse, that just doesn't fit well. But if you want to say regress, I mean, obviously, yes, he is getting older. Anybody gets worse with age. I mean, kind of. I mean, but you look at LeBron. But anyway, Chris Paul getting older. Yes, he might get a little bit smarter. Obviously, he's healthier. He's on that vegan diet. But leading his team to the playoffs, throughout the playoffs, the Suns were amazing last year. They were so fun to watch. I really, really did enjoy watching Chris Paul in the playoffs last year. And he could score from the mid-range better than anyone in the league, I'd argue, and having a super nasty handle. I think Chris Paul is probably the best leader in the league. Obviously, that's debatable with a bunch of guys like Steph Curry, like LeBron James. Who are some other guys that are really good at leading a team? I mean, Kawhi Leonard. I mean, those are some of the top dogs. Russell Westbrook's a great leader, but you throw Chris Paul in that category, and he's debatable with each and every single one of them. He has a great impact on the game, and it really is unfortunate that he just couldn't get that ring in Phoenix. I think that might have been his that definitely was his best chance to get a ring, and we'll see if it can come later in his career possibly. But yeah, Chris Paul at number 5 is where I have him there. Kyrie Irving is in at number 4 for me. Irving is a guy that I was debating whether or not I wanted Kyrie in my top 3, but I'm beside him at 4 just because of his... Kyrie Irving is also one of the best leaders in the league as well. But Kyrie Irving, he has the best handles in the league. He's one of the most clutch players in the league. He could shoot it from anywhere. I miss watching Kyrie Irving just having amazing just highlights. Watching Kyrie Irving never gets old. He's easily probably one of the most exciting players to watch in the league. He's one of the best finishers for the point guard position, compared to some of the guys like Russell Westbrook, Steph Curry. Luka's one of those guys. Trae Young is solid at the rim, but giving the ball to Kyrie and just saying, "Here, go get a bucket," I don't think anybody's better than him. I really don't. I saw a questionnaire. It was like you could compare guys. This is something I hate. Like, obviously we know like Nikola Jokic is one of the best players in the entire NBA. But he's not an amazing defender. Not that he's a bad defender by any means, but he's a good defender. He's just a good defender. He's an average center defender. But his perimeter defense is awful. But because he's a 7-foot guy that's like 200 pounds. Anybody that's 7 foot, 200 pounds is not going to be a great defender against quick 5-6 foot guards. So it's like you could put a guy like Ish Smith in a 1v1 against Nikola Jokic, make it take it. Ish Smith might win that 1v1. I'm not saying that Ish Smith is a better player, but it's like that speed that he has could just burn Jokic every single time. Now, if Jokic gets the ball, he's just gonna post him up and win, obviously. But like that's something that I always be thinking of. Anyway, let's get back on topic here. So yeah, Kyrie Irving. That Nets big 3 is absurd, and I think they're gonna be meeting up with the Lakers in the championship next year, no doubt about it. Kyrie Irving's insane. What else could I say? He hit one of the biggest shots in the NBA history, playing with LeBron James, for that matter. But yeah, Kyrie Irving is going to be at number 4. Number 3, I have Damian Lillard. Now, Lillard was between this other guy who I have at number 2. You're also seeing him on the screen right now. I have Luka at 2 and Steph Curry at 1. Just a little bit of a spoiler, but I'll give some insight right now. I need to grab myself a drink real quick. Because I've been talking for 15 minutes straight. And your voice gets a little tired. So I got myself some water. But yeah. I have Lillard at 3. Now, the whole Lillard trade scenario thing is a bit annoying in my mind, just because I could see Lillard wanting to trade out of Portland next season if he doesn't, say, win in the first round and the Blazers get bumped. Now, I'll be pissed off too if you go to your GM and you're like, damn, man, we're just not getting it together. I love Portland. I love the city. I've done so much for the organization. Now, can you just get some help around me? Like, I got CJ. Like, I fuck with him. Like, I love CJ, but like, bring a little more. And then they kind of just go out there and don't do anything in free agency or the draft, and you're just like, oh my god. So I think Damian Lillard is one of the best leaders. Again, so much great leaders at this point guard spot, but I have him over Kyrie and Chris Paul specifically, mainly for the matter that I think he's a better scorer. I think he's a better scorer than Lillard. Or I think Lillard's a better scorer than guys like Trae Young, Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, because of his ability just to hit clutch shots, his ability to shoot anywhere from the floor, and I think he can really take over the game better than any of these guys. A hot Damian Lillard is better than a hot LeBron James, in my opinion, just because Lillard, the second he crosses that the half court line, you just got to push up on him and hope that he just doesn't make a shot. We saw what Austin Rivers was literally praying to God in that finals run, because this man Damian Lillard just wasn't missing. He literally had to pray to God, and then we saw what happened. He missed, and yeah, CJ McCollum sold him that series. But hopefully they bounce back. I would want to see Damian Lillard do well, even though I'm not a big Portland Trailblazers fan. Seeing Damian Lillard succeed would make me a bit happy. It would, as long as Westbrook has that upper echelon against him all time, which I do think he does accolade-wise. But number 2, he's listed as a point guard. I have Luka Doncic. Luka is going to be the face of the league within the next few years. He kind of already is, behind guys like LeBron, Giannis, Steph Curry, and like KD. But there's like a bug going on. It's not COVID, but there's a bug going on. It sounds a little snuffy, but it's all good. Luka definitely, to me, is one of the most, I don't know the right word, but it's just like crafty, I guess. And like he just has a will for everything. He could pass the ball so well. He could rebound so well. He could take the ball off the dribble. He could catch and shoot. He could hit clutch shots. There's not much that Luka can't do. He's not the best defender, but he's solid enough to where he doesn't like fall in my rankings. And I think he's better than everyone I've listed so far, mainly for the fact that, I mean, he's 23 years old. He's coming in MVP voting already. He's like he could score 45 points a game with ease if he really wanted to. Now, I think the only flaw I really have for Luka so far is playoffs, but he's only 23. He has so much to prove. Damian Lillard, you look at his track record in the playoffs, he's made the Western Conference Finals here and there, but he's never really done all that much. Chris Paul, he made the finals. That was the best run he's ever had in the playoffs. Trae Young, he had a run to nearly the finals. Russell Westbrook, he made it to the finals, but that was in 2012. The last time he made it out the first round, besides in Houston, he kept going. He would lose in the first round all the time with OKC. Lost with Washington. He made it to the second round with Harden, but they ended up playing against OKC in the first round and just getting absolutely bulldozed over by the Lakers. Drew Holiday, yes, but you mean to tell me that Luka Doncic isn't better than Drew Holiday? Like, that's pretty self-explanatory. Ben Simmons and De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox has never been in a playoffs before, and Ben Simmons hasn't done anything in the playoffs really either. His 4 points over the course of like 5 quarters or 6, whatever that stat was. You know what it is. But yeah, Luka's at 2. Steph Curry's at 1. Steph Curry arguably is one of the best players in the league. I think when it comes to straight basketball, Steph Curry might be one of those guys. He used to be one of the best on-ball defenders, and he's still a good defender, but greatest three-point scorer of all time. No doubt about it. Steph Curry, catch and shoot, butter. Pulls up from half court, butter. Off the dribble, butter. Running between 3 screens, catching it off 1 foot and banking it off the glass. That's butter. Every shot that he takes is a good shot for Steph Curry. You can't tell anybody otherwise. He has the green light at all moments. Like, there's shots that I see him make with ease. I remember the one game against Boston I was watching with a couple buddies of mine. He wasn't missing. I think he shot it from like behind his neck or something, and that shot was absurd. But yeah, that's gonna round out the point guard position. I'll go through it one more time, just in case you forgot. So at 10 we have De'Aaron Fox, Ben Simmons at number 9, number 8 we have Drew Holiday, 7 Russell Westbrook, 6 Trae Young, 5 Chris Paul, 4 is Kyrie Irving, 3 is Damian Lillard, 2 is Luka Doncic, and 1 is Stephen Curry. So yeah, that's my subjective list. Now, obviously, argue with me in the comments. This is going into next season. As of right now, nobody's hurt. Now, I don't think there's really any big point guards that are hurt, really, besides Jamal Murray. Yeah, I can't really think of any other point guards that are, like, severely hurt that would really drop them in ratings at all. But yeah, so that's my point guard list. I'm going to keep going. I mean, I know we're at 21 minutes, but we're going to move on to shooting guard positions right now. And at 10, I have Terry Rozier of the Charlotte Hornets. Now, he just got that bag again during this offseason, and I really am a big Terry Rozier fan. He's a slasher on the low. Like, Terry Rozier has some scary bunnies in him. He's really clutch. He has a deadly three-point shot. His crossover, it's high. It's a high crossover, you know what I'm saying? But, like, Terry Rozier is going to be a great guy for LaMelo Ball to play with. I really did like having the 3-guard lineup in Charlotte last year with Devontae Graham, LaMelo Ball, and Terry Rozier. And his come-up story is absurd from what he started with in Boston to then having an incredible playoff run, getting an extension, and then playing another year, then going to Charlotte, playing really well in Charlotte, being not an MVP, but an all-star candidate, not making it, but I think his time could come. I don't know if Terry Rozier is ever going to be an all-star just because of how many good guards there are in this league. He's already, I think, 28 years old, so it might be tough for Rozier to sneak into an all-star game, but who knows? Maybe if LaMelo ended up getting hurt with an injury, Gordon Hayward ends up getting hurt, Terry Rozier could just bloom into like a 25-point-per-game score. But we'll see. We'll see. So Terry Rozier is then at number 10 for me, and I have CJ McCollum at the 9 spot now. McCollum is a guy that I think you could give him the ball, and he's definitely one of the best ISO ball scorers. Like, CJ McCollum, give me a bucket, go do your thing, and he can get you a bucket probably 9 of those 10 times. And besides other guys on this list, I think he's probably the best ISO scorer or just spot-up scorer among some of those other guys, especially some of the other shooting guards on this list that are more up there for slashing, defensive purposes, leadership purposes. CJ McCollum, he's a bucket getter. He's strictly a bucket getter. He can't pass. He can kind of defend. But that's about it. CJ McCollum, go out there, give me 20 points a game. I'm happy. And don't step on the baseline because I don't want to lose in the playoffs again. I don't know why I'm saying that as acting like I'm a Blazers fan. I actually don't like the Blazers fan, but like kind of just overall in general, like don't do that against CJ McCollum, or else you're gonna get booted out for maybe Ben Simmons. Next up at 8, I have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Now Shai, in my opinion, is a point guard. I don't see him necessarily as a 2 guard. He takes the ball up every time, but ESPN has him listed as a shooting guard, which is fine. Shai is one of the best scorers technically in the league when it comes to isolation ball. I think it was like 80% of his buckets were off isolation basketball. I mean, he has no one else on the team to really pass him the ball to. He's a very underrated facilitator. He can rebound the ball. He doesn't have the best defensive abilities, but I really like Shai's game. He kind of lets it just all come to him. He doesn't force any shots. he's just in his own little mind, super crafty, in and out, hezzy, tween, step back, drive the lane, split to defenders, layup. It's tough. I love Shea. That's why he's my favorite player in the league. Playing for my favorite team in the league, OKC. I'm expecting Shea to have a huge season. I really don't hope that Mark Daigneault holds out Shea again this year for an injury. I know he was hurt, like, slightly, but not for 40 games, 35 games. Like, I want to, like, if I'm turning an OKC game on, unless Shea's actually injured, I don't want to see him resting. Like, he's our guy, and I genuinely do think that Shea could be an all-star next season. I think he will. I think he could be an all-NBA type guy if they let him play. But Sam Presti and the OKC Thunder, they just want to have that top pick in the draft, which, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I would love to have a top pick in this draft. If that meant, like, sitting Shea for 10 games. But I don't want to be in another scenario again where we purposely tank another 40 games to end the season just for us to get, like, the 6th pick and miss out on Shea playing games and Lou Dort and Darius Baisley sometimes. Like, I really just want to watch Shea Gilgeous-Alexander hoop next season, because if you don't watch Thunder games, you truly are missing out. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so coming in at number 7, I have Zach LaVine. Also, like, some players on this list are ranked higher than others. For instance, like, I do think that Ben Simmons is, like, better than Jrue Holiday overall wise, but, like, on this list, it's hard to like make up, I guess. Like, I know De'Aaron Fox might be better than, like, Russell Westbrook, but in terms of my opinion, I think Russell Westbrook is better as, like, a point guard, if that makes sense. But whatever, you might get the gist of things. But I have Zach LaVine. He came off a career year last year, showing everyone that he's not just a slasher. He can really score the ball really, really well. And he could be a really, really clutch guy in the league. And getting so much help this offseason with Lonzo Ball, with getting Vucevic last season, getting DeMar DeRozan, Alex Caruso. It kind of takes, like, it kind of lets him take a deep breath. Like, he doesn't have to do everything every night just for the Bulls to still be mediocre. And I think this upcoming season, the Chicago Bulls are going to be nice. The Chicago Bulls are definitely going to be a top seed out west, or out east, excuse me, that is. But it's going to be nice just to watch Zach LaVine get help, because he's never really had help. I mean, he had Jimmy Butler back a few years ago, but that's really... Oh, no, he didn't have Jimmy Butler, because they got... Yeah, that's right. They got kind of flipped for one another. Zach LaVine never really had help, and I think him having help now is going to be huge for him. Obviously, Vucevic wasn't really there for the full season. I think if Vuce was there the entirety of the Bulls season last year, they probably would have been at least a play-in team. But we'll see what Zach LaVine could do. I'm expecting a lot of clutch plays, a lot of nasty dunks out of him. And, yeah, I really hope the best for Zach LaVine. He's one of my kind of unappreciated guys in the league. He deserves a lot more credit. And speaking of guys that deserve a lot more credit, coming in at number, 6, I have Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics. Brown, there's a funny meme of him from, like, 4 years ago, where he has no beard, and he has the little poofy top. You know what I'm talking about. The Iman Shumpert. And then a couple years later, now it's just flipped. So now he's got the big beard, bald-ass head. But I really do like Jaylen Brown. And a reason why I have him higher on this list than guys like Zach LaVine and Shea is because of his defensive abilities. He's a great defender. And even though his scoring is probably slightly worse than guys like Shea or Zach LaVine, his defense kind of just pushes him up there a little bit. I would love to have a guy like Jaylen Brown on my team. He was one of them, a most improved guy. Last season, obviously, Julius Randle took that nod away from him. But I can't doubt that Jaylen Brown's going to be a hooper next season. And he's going to be a guy to average probably 25 points alongside Jason Tatum. Once again, we'll see if he can be another all-star like he was for the first time in his career last year. Props to him. Hopefully some other guys make it. Now, this is going to be everyone's going to be pissed at me. I already know everyone's going to be pissed at me. At number 5, I have Devin Booker. I have Devin Booker at 5. And not to discredit Booker for anything or take anything away from him, all my top 5 guys are incredible basketball players. But Booker is just, he's lower than some of these guys because I think, like, for instance, I have Donovan Mitchell in at 4, and like I said before, I think both of them are amazing when it comes to scoring the ball. I think Booker is slightly less athletic than a guy like Donovan Mitchell is, but that defense that Mitchell has is just slightly better than Devin Booker, and that slightly better helps move him just one slot higher in my ranking. And then in at 3, I have Beal. Beal is just one of the best pure scorers in the league. Empty stats Beal doesn't exist because Brad is tough, and anyone who is saying that he's not is lying to your face because Bradley Beal is tough. And it's same scenario with Damian Lillard. I don't want him to leave Washington just because he's done so much, but at the same time, if he were to request a trade right now, I would not be offended at all if I was a Wizards fan. I don't think anybody in the entire league would discredit Bradley Beal or call him anything for wanting to leave a team that he just hasn't had help over the years. He's never really had a good center. He's had John Wall. He's had great seasons with John Wall, but they never really made anything out of it. And I think that shows that Bradley Beal probably can't be that number 1 scoring option on a championship caliber team and needs probably another superstar-like guy on his team in order to really win, because Russell Westbrook was there last year. He had a solid season, mainly in the second half of the year. His first half of the season was pretty poor, but like having one of the best point guards in the league, especially a slashing point guard that could just dish it out to Bradley Beal, like they only played 5 games in the playoffs last year and lost 4 of them. So clearly a top point guard is not the option. I think they really need an all-star caliber center and then another all-star caliber point guard to really help Washington do well and succeed. Now, I love Bradley Beal, but if he could just get a little bit more help, I think that'll just help him as a player when it comes to leadership and being able to kind of maybe just have that itch almost that other guys have. Like Chris Paul just has that like superstar name to him, and guys like Donovan Mitchell has like that superstar ring to him. But Bradley Beal, to me, I don't know if I could give him that just because he's a pure scorer. And I know I have Beal higher than guys like Mitchell and Booker and Jaylen Brown and Shea and all these guys, but I think when it comes to shooting guard, you need to just be able to score the ball. You don't need to be a passer to be one of the best shooting guards in the league. Now, like Shea is probably the second best passer amongst the shooting guards on this list behind James Harden, who I have further along. But, like, I still am going to take Jaylen Brown or Devin Booker over Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for pure scoring in shooting guard position. Yeah, but coming in at number 2, and I'm being dead ass right now, 1 and 2 are interchangeable. And I was close to putting the guy I have at number 2 at number 1. If you don't know already, my MVP pick, James... Oh, that kind of spoiled it for you. My MVP pick, Paul George, is coming in at number 2. That means I have James Harden at number 1. Harden is amazing. He's the best shooting guard in the league. No doubt in my mind. He can give you 50, 10, and 10 right now. He could score any bucket you want right now. He has such an underrated handle, and he's so fast with it. He's crafty. He gets the calls when he wants to. I love the Euro he has. I love the step back he has. And compared to Paul George, I think the only thing Paul George really has on him besides like frame, which really gives him the ability to rebound, is probably just athleticism. Like, I love Paul George's ability to finish at the rim. So I'd notch that off to Paul George. But besides that, and defense. Paul George is definitely a better defender than James Harden. But it's James freaking Harden, honestly. Like, it's James Harden. It's James Harden. And he's playing with another top 5 point guard in the league, and then another top whatever forward in the league in Kevin Durant. So the Brooklyn Nets, dude, it still blows my mind that they even were able to assemble that team without anything really getting in the way, especially with the league. Like, I'm surprised Adam Silver let that James Harden trade get through. But anyway, yeah, so that's gonna round out my shooting guard position. It looks like we're about 35 minutes into this video so far. I won't even call it a video. I call it more of like just like a, let's just hang out. Let's just talk about hoops. And yeah, so I'm gonna do just the guards for this, and I think on the next video I'm gonna do my small forward, power forwards, and then one last video we're gonna do my centers actually. And then for the rest of this video, I kind of just want to talk briefly about like in real life plans. So if you're here just for basketball talk, you can leave now. The video's over. I really appreciate you watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. But yeah, let's get right into my kind of in real life plans now. Where have I been for the past month? Obviously, school started back up. Summertime is no longer a thing, so I don't have as much time to record videos. And I'm really trying to enjoy my senior year while it is. Not saying that I don't enjoy making videos at all or editing, but that's really what it comes down to. Is like some of these videos take a few hours between the filming of it, which I love. I love filming videos, and I really do love editing videos. But there's just times where I can't fit it in. Like I can't just go over to wherever and film with ease and have it up within the night. Like during the summer I could do that. I could go to a store and just mess around for an hour, get some content, come home, edit it till 3 in the morning, post it the next day, and I'm good. I wish I could do that. But expect more videos soon. I have a big list here of some video ideas. Obviously I'm not going to spoil it to you, but as you can see on my phone, I have like a big list. So I'm excited to do some of that. I got a bit of equipment. I got this mic. I've actually had 2 mics. The first one was awful. It just did not record anything, especially during that 5v5 basketball game. That's what I bought it for, and it just did not work, which is unfortunate. It was also only like 15 bucks. But this one I got recently, it was 40 bucks, and this was more of a lavalier than just like a plug in my phone and go. So this one, it came with the clamp, it came with the transmitter and the receiver, had the wire. It really had everything, and it works amazing. It works amazing if one side of it was here, the camera's here, and the microphone was here. It would be perfect. But the second I went probably more than 5 feet away from this camera, it just wouldn't work. And I'm like, why is this? I thought it had something to do with the cords being disrupted. I tried everything. I tried fixing everything, and it just didn't work. So I wasted like 40 bucks. I'm trying to set up an Amazon return just to get a new one or to get it fixed. But I don't know if I'm going to be doing that anytime soon. So we may not have a mic. We might just have to use like the camera mic or the phone mic, which is fine. I mean, I used that for my past 2 videos and the audio was perfect. But it kind of just takes away that little bit of quality that I was hoping for. But yeah, I mean, it's no issue. I was also looking to see if I wanted to like invest money into a camera. Like a nice camera, like a nice like $1,000 camera, as well as like a good like $200 wireless microphone, and then like a Rode amp mic and everything, kind of just to have like a nice setup, or a nice YouTuber setup that is, and then use my phone as like a secondary camera if I needed to. Just for the videos that I want to do, because I really do have a lot of big plans, and I know the videos don't get insane views and like the page doesn't grow super fast, but I think eventually something could happen, and it's just a matter of time really. And I think that once I start getting back into routine and I start getting consistent again, like if someone watched this entire 38-minute long 42-second video so far, you're a real one. And I'm gonna know if you're a real one. Here, just comment if you've watched this entirety of the video so far, or listened to it, because honestly, I would have just left like my phone on in my pocket and listened to this during class. Just comment like purified, like PURIFIED, because purified water. If you're still here and you've watched the entirety of this video, because you are a real one. I'm not expecting anyone to watch this entirety of the video, because I told you a lot of you guys to leave after I did my guards and ranked them after listening for 35 minutes. But yeah, if you stuck around, you're a real one. But yeah, to get back to the content stuff, it's a mix of a lot of in real life stuff when it comes to like like the Dick's Sporting Goods type of stuff that I did, like just messing around in stores and in public areas, and then also in real life basketball sort of stuff. Like, I know I want to get a lot more pickup games going. I want to get a lot more 1v1s, hopefully some challenges, kind of stuff along that sort of thing. And then I do want to get my other stuff situated, and not just like prank videos or walking around messing around, but also other real life stuff, such as like trying different types of foods and stuff. Like, I have an idea where I want to go to all of the restaurants in my area, get their food, get their fries, and just rate it, because I think that'll be a fire idea, and I'll have a lot of fun with that. But yeah, I'm excited. I definitely am. But be on the lookout for some of those videos. I know this one's a long one. But it's just gonna be part one of what could be a future series on my channel. Also, the basketball talk is always gonna be here. I'm really just waiting for something exciting to happen during this off season, and then once the season starts, we're gonna be grinding out content. We're gonna be like, oh yeah, the Mavericks game last night. Luka went up and dropped 60 in the game winner. I think like the Pacers are surprising everyone, but not me, because I knew it was gonna happen. Well, like, I'm excited for all that stuff. But yeah. It's nice kind of just having a camera and me just allowing me to sit down and talk to you guys like this. We'll go full camera for a minute here. I know it's a bit blurry. Don't mind it. It's all good. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, please leave it a like. I know it's a long one, or if you're listening to it, thank you so much. Please consider hitting the subscribe button. And yeah, I don't think I got anything else to say. But I also need kind of like a catchphrase. Like, I know like Kenny has like, and we back. And then there's guys like Click who go, all right. And Kenny, and not Kenny, Cone, he has like real ones say it back at the end. I kind of want to get that sort of every sort of video thing that I could do either at the front, at the beginning of all my videos, or at the end, preferably at, I don't know, like I could start the videos by saying something, and then ending my videos saying something. So I'm gonna try to think of something over the next couple of days, because it's like, I want that to be like my quote, like I say that. If you have any suggestions, let me know, either in the comments or on Twitter. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, I'm just gonna be saying peace, because that's like, I feel like I said that every time. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, leave it a like. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.